Hi guys, it's Angie. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, I'm Angie and this is my channel about cross stitch. And if you are returning, welcome back. It has been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks since my last video. I had every intention of filming last weekend, and then the weekend hit and I didn't want to, so I didn't. And then my computer broke. And after the experience, I mean, it wasn't hard to upload my videos on my phone to YouTube, but it was not as enjoyable as doing it on the computer where I can type everything out. I've mentioned before, I don't like doing this when I have a lot to do. Plus I can put links and better things in my descriptions when I don't have to do it on my phone. And so I figured, well, if my computer's broken, I'm just gonna have to wait till it's fixed. Thank heavens I have my husband home and he is my tech guru, so he did, as you can see, he fixed my computer. We're not sure what's wrong with it. Yeah. The thing has been giving me trouble for a while now. Right after he left on his deployment, it broke. Like a month after he left, it broke. So I went about 5 months without the use of my computer. I had his, and it was kind of going on the fritz too. So that was fun. But then he came home for Christmas. And when he came home, he fixed the computer, which is great, and it was working until we had a power surge, and then the operating system disappeared for some reason when the power surged, and we have it on a surge protector and everything, but that messed it up. So when he got home from his deployment, he fixed it up for me, and then I don't know what happened. It just freaked out, and the same thing happened this last week, so I figured over the weekend when I was just not feeling it and the computer thing, it just meant that I needed to take a little bit of a breather. This channel is meant to be fun, so I definitely do not want to feel the pressure of, oh, I have to do this, or else it's no longer fun. So while I do plan to film regularly, there may be occasions where I'm a little bit late. So, that being said, I have a lot to show you, so that's exciting. Well, first, I think I'm going to start this week with some haul, and it's late. It's late at night. I have been, unfortunately, suffering from some insomnia this entire week. It's been really bad. I'm exhausted, but I can't sleep. I can't turn my brain off long enough to fall asleep. And so I'm kind of bedhead. It's late. But I figure I'm gonna go ahead and do this because what else am I gonna do? I can't sleep. So first thing I got, I showed you my first one that my mom sent, and it came in a set of 3. And this one showed up. So this is another lantern. Oh, I'm trying to do this so that it's not glaring. You can see my windows. It's ridiculous, but this is the kids, and they're on their way to find Sandy Claus, and it's up purple as well. So it came in the mail. I'm very excited about that. So I've got one more that's supposed to come. I don't know when it's gonna come, but it's supposed to come. That one's supposed to be Oogie Boogie. I had mentioned in the last video that I needed like 100 of these, so I just ordered some more because eventually my fabric for the Haid is going to get here. I ordered it from Charting Creations, and of course everywhere is behind and slow, and you know, it's to be expected. And they are really awesome, and they have been sending out an email each week letting you know where you are on the list of, like, in the line for things to be shipped out. So I think the first email I got, I was like almost 200, and now I'm below 100. So I imagine my stuff will get shipped probably at the end of August. So I know I don't have a chance to do the 10,000 stitches on a Haid in the official Heaven and Earth Design Facebook challenge group. It's not a challenge group, it's a Facebook group, and they issued a challenge. I really wanted to try and do that, but it's not gonna happen. But I did get all of these so that I can put together the threads on it when I'm bored one night, because I Okay, so I got the super sized max color. I'm a little bit nervous. It's got 295 colors on it. That's a lot of colors. And while I have no doubt that I can do it, I'm not gonna lie, it's daunting to think about. So I got these. I picked up some bowen needles. Is that how you say it? Bowen or bohin? I don't know. Bowen. I'm using some of them right now, so this isn't a pristine package, but I like them. They're tiny. They're like thin. The needles that I've been using, you know, just the ones you pick up at Hobby Lobby or Joann's, are really, they feel very thick. And then the gold needles that I bought and tried, they're also very thin. And I like that, except when I stab my fingers. But that doesn't happen too often. So I got those. I'm going to insert a picture right here. Of the bag of floss that I got, which rounded out all of my DMC. I think I'm still missing about 15 colors, but that's a whole lot better than what I was missing. So now I feel very confident that I can kit up almost any project most of the colors for. So it's just kind of nice. I'm contemplating buying a full set of the CXC threads for my Hade, because I know some people do that because it's way cheaper than using DMC. I know that Crafty Gaming Jamie bought a whole set of CXC colors to do some of her projects with, because again, it's a lot cheaper if you don't care so much about the quality, which I think that's what my Stranger Things was a CXC black. And as long as the thread's not too long, it didn't fall apart completely. If I had it really long, it would fall apart after so many times pulling it through the fabric, but I'm not super picky. So all right, I picked up, so I've got the pattern, the Kraken, which I don't have a picture for, so, well, I don't have a picture to hold up, so I'll insert one here. And I found a needle minder on Etsy. It's a glow-in-the-dark needle minder that matched that exactly. And it was gorgeous, and I put it in my cart, and I wanted it. Oh, I wanted it so bad, just because it matched the pattern. But it was $9. That's not a big deal. But I think in order to ship it to myself, it was going to be $20 in shipping. And that was the deal breaker. So I just happened to be on, and I found this shop, the Caffeinated Cat Crafts, and there was this cute little octopus needle minder. So I picked this up to put on my Kraken pattern when I start that, which hopefully will be soon. So I got that, but I'll tell you what, oh, that other one, gorgeous. I would have liked it. Picked up some more yellow, and then because I felt really stupid ordering 3 skeins of floss from 123 Stitch with nothing else, I picked up some black and some black silver treasure braid, because when I do my conversion for the Raven Queen, I'm gonna try and incorporate this. I'm not sure, this might even already be called for. I haven't actually looked at what is required for that pattern, but I know I'm gonna want some shine and some sparkle. So I got that, and then I've just got a stack of fabric here that we picked up so that I can make more masks for me and my kids, because I bought one of those sets of one size fits all, and it doesn't fit all, of course not, and I knew that going into it. So I got some purple, red, we got some black and white, just different patterns. This is the Mario fabric that we had before, and then my daughter has been making neckerchiefs or bandana type things for our dog, so picked up some paw print dinosaurs, which will make a good mask for my son, and music notes because my daughters and I love music. So that is my haul. I haven't purchased any patterns. I'm not planning to purchase any patterns. I'm just waiting still for a few to come. So now that I've done the haul, let's go ahead and I'll show you what I've been working on. Saving this one for last. Okay, so if you are watching this tin, please avert your eyes for a moment. My husband, I told you guys that I was going to restart his project on slightly bigger count fabric because the 22 count heart hanger just wasn't working for me. So I did. I ordered some 18 count Aida, just simple Aida, and I haven't done as much, so I haven't gotten nearly as much done, but I did get a nice, good start on this. Is this gonna get done by Christmas? I don't know. We'll see. It has not been. It's not that it's not a priority to work on it. It's just it's hard to work on it because he's here, and when he's here, we try to spend time together. I mean, I guess I could work on it while he's working, but I feel like if he is down here working, then I need to be working something in the house. So it just, I need to give it some more love, for sure. So I will. So that's number one. Okay, Tim, you can watch again. I made some more progress on Pavan. Oh my goodness. I'll show you this when I show you my desk because I finished my desk. If you hadn't already noticed that these are not bright yellow anymore, I also have this fun chair. I made progress on Pavan. The last time you saw it, I believe this one was just outlined. So I filled that in and added to this. I think I got about 800 stitches done on this. So fantastic. I love this. And I feel like when I look at it on the camera, the way it looks like I've done quite a bit. I keep wondering, you know, if I worked on this every single week, how much more would I have done? But it's hard because there's other projects to work on as well. More on that later. All right, so then we have, I started the Garden Prelude. I started Garden Prelude. So Sammy J, I will link to her channel, her Flosstube, below. Sammy J was starting Garden Prelude as a birthday stitch along. And so a lot of us from Virtual Stitchers got together one night to start it. And that was the night of my last video. And I remember telling you guys about it because I had to film quickly. I didn't actually start that night because I was converting the colors. My daughter didn't want the teal dress on the girl, the fancy lady. She wanted something more yellow. So with the yellows that I had at the time, I did a conversion and I started the next day. So I was on Virtual Stitchers chatting with everybody while I was converting the colors, but then it got late and I went to bed. So I started the next morning and I got this far. So I'm going to insert a picture right here. Now, all was fine and dandy with that, except that I felt like, after I kept looking at it, that it looked too much like candy corn. I mean, that's just, every time I looked at it, I was like, that looks like candy corn. I know it doesn't have any orange, but it didn't feel right. So I just happened to be picking up this fabric at Walmart, and I glanced over, and they had threads, flosses, DMC. And when I looked at them, they were not only, they were 53 cents a skein, which is a lot better than a lot of the stores now, but also they had the yellow that I couldn't get from any of the online stores. So I bought a bunch of those yellows, came home, and then reconfigured it all a second time, and then I did a restart. And so here is where I'm at now. So I've done about 1,000 stitches, and this is the bottom hem of her dress. Now the ribbon that goes along through the dress. It is the same color. It is called for. I am just converting the body, the main body of the dress, and then I'm converting her hair because in Garden Prelude, the lady's hair is black. My daughter's hair is more like my color. Oh my gosh, my hair looks terrible right now. Ugh. I'm trying not to be self-conscious about my pajama look. Anyway, so that's where I'm at, and I love this. It's I love this just like I love Stargazer, and I feel bad that I didn't work on Stargazer at all since last time you saw her, because I was working on her. So there's that. Then for the extra credit for August for Magical Stitches, I had to spell out the words Mother Gothel on one project, which means you stitch on a project that has things in it that start with the letter, those letters. So M-O-T-H-E-R, G-O-T-H-E-L. And so I added 1,200 stitches, I believe. Yeah, 1,200 stitches, because it was 100 stitches per letter. I think, was it 100 stitches per letter, or was it just you needed to do 1,000 stitches? No, I think it was 100 per letter. Anyway, this is, my brain is not, this is, you haven't slept, so you can't think straight. Doesn't matter. I stitched the required number of stitches on here. And so now I am, according to Pattern Keeper, I am now 50% done with the pillow. It's a little bit daunting to see this and be like, I'm only 50% done, because I swear it feels like I've got so much more left to go. But I pretty much, on this side, all I have left is the rest of the border around here. And then on this side, I've got the other two flags. I've got Hermione, I have a spell here, a few more of the Hallows. I'm contemplating right now, because right here and not right there, I think it's just right here, there are some flourishes that I'm like, I don't care for. And one of the homeworks for this week that I have to finish tomorrow is that we have to stitch 1,000 stitches on one of our whips that has a mode of transportation, but they're very specific. So there's like a ship, a car, a train. And while this pattern does not have a train in it, I did chart a Hogwarts Express for my giant Harry Potter. And I could probably squeeze that in here. And then if I did the train and worked a little bit on some of these other things, that would get more of this done for Christmas, and it would knock out my homework. So if I don't do that, I'm gonna have to work on 13 colonies, because that's the only other whip that I have that has any form of transportation, and I'm not doing penalty stitches, because that would be 1,500 stitches. So I have to double check and see if I have the space, and if I do, then I might be adding a Hogwarts Express in here somewhere. So that's what I'm thinking of. So there's that. And last, what did I work on? Not only did I work on it, but I have a finish. And ta-da! It is so not ironed. So gross, sorry. I mean, it's not gross, but it would look so much better if I'd taken the time to iron it. But who has time for that? I have to go out in the basement, pull out the ironing board, heat it up. No thanks. Plus, I want to wash it before I iron it. So all finished. I got everything done. Way back in the beginning, somewhere on the center part here, I got off, and so none of the, I call all of this that surrounds Spock, the border, none of it lines up correctly with Spock himself, but it all lines up with each other. Spock lines up with himself, And you can't really tell anyway. I started this in the middle. I folded the fabric in fourths, found the middle, started in the middle, and yet for some reason, and I started out with the middle that was marked on the chart too, but for some reason I have way more space on this side than I do on this side. So I'm a little bit nervous about how I'm gonna go ahead and do this as a pillow. And my understanding is that the batting will come through the fabric. And so I need to put interfacing on the back before I stuff the pillow. So I need to find some backing fabric that looks good. I need to get the interfacing, I need to wash it, iron it, and then I need to also figure out if I'm just gonna leave it as just a pillow or if I'm gonna do something around the seam line to make it fancy. So one more look. This is my mom and dad. This is for my mom and dad for Christmas. It was a labor of love. My husband says he likes it too, so I may end up stitching this again. I might do it for next year. And if I do, I'm gonna get this same exact fabric, but I'm gonna do 1/1, so it'll be much smaller because we don't have need of decorative pillows in this house. But if I did it smaller, then I would put it in a cute frame to put on our Star Trek wall when we finish. We got shelves to put up for our Star Trek wall. So excited. My husband got a new desk and he's gonna move his part of the office to the basement because it looks like he is gonna be working from home for the, we don't know. They're actually looking into whether or not they ever go back into an office setting again. And so it's not conducive up here. There's no door in the office to shut off the sound from our noisy children. So he's gonna move that to the basement, and then when we start school, one of my kids will be on this desk over here while I'm over here supervising, and we've got tables, and I might even set up another table over here until we get our furniture, which I don't know if we're ever gonna get the couch set. COVID just makes everything fun. So that is what I've done. So I guess next, let's talk plans. As far as plans go, I don't know. I got really, I got sucked in, I think is what you call it. You get sucked in. As I'm doing this Flosstube channel, I'm scared of getting boring, so that people are like, oh my gosh, she's showing Star Trek Spock again. I'm sick of Star Trek Spock. I've seen Star Trek, you know. Now, are you really thinking that? Probably not. I don't think that when I see, in fact, I like to see the progress on people's projects that I'm familiar with. And so, but it's easy to be so worried about wanting to make sure that there's something new for you guys to look at, that it's easy to want to just start everything and then have loads of projects. And I know so many Flosstubers that have so many projects going at one time, and it's kind of crazy, and not in a bad way. It's crazy, and I'm sure it's exciting, and they have their tiny decisions wheels that helps them decide what they're working on. But way back when I started this, I had mentioned that I get really tense or anxious about having too much stuff going on, and I started feeling that way, and I realized that I had made that mistake, that I jumped in with these plans to have too much going on. So I went through, I pulled all my fabric that I did have, which turned out to be a lot more than I expected, and I paired all my fabric up to patterns. So I only have one piece of fabric that has not been given a pattern yet, because it was meant for a pattern that I decided I am no longer going to stitch, at least not anytime soon, because it doesn't hold interest for me anymore. And then as I was doing that, I went through all of the patterns that I do have and decided which ones I loved so much that I wanted to start them within the next 5 months. I do want to try the new year, no new starts. New year, no new starts. What? I can't remember what it's called. But I'm gonna try it because I like the idea of just working on what you have. But I think that's it's more important for somebody who's got maybe 100 whips that they need to finish. And all of my whips are big. I think somebody else pointed out in the comments that I like the big projects. And while they're not all Hades, they're all time-consuming projects. So I went through and I thought I'd show you what I plan to, no kidding, these are the projects that I want to have started and progress on by the end of December. And I feel comfortable with this. And now, of course, that I have this one finished, and Harry Potter will get done probably by the end of September, if not earlier. So there go two right there. So I'm gonna pull these out. I do not have photographs of these to hold up, so I'm gonna insert some photographs here, but I'll show you this is my Middle Earth. So that Middle Earth, and I mean, this one's like a Hades size. It's not a Hades size. It's big. It's like 300 by 500 or something like that. So I mean, it's big, but it stitches up nice and fast, even with the confetti spots. So I have that. This one is Kraken. So I've got all my colors here, and then this one is Avatar. So these are ones that I want to start. I think Avatar, out of all of these, because Kraken is a full coverage, along with Middle Earth, I think Avatar, out of these ones, would be the quickest stitch. So then I have, on top of that, I have 13 colonies, which I'm currently working on. I have, this one's full coverage too, Nightmare Before Christmas stained glass, which I love. And I have not put any love into that. But this one feels like a great lengthy project. I am in no hurry to finish this. So I don't mind if this one kind of just sits and I pull it out when I'm just in the mood to stitch something, but I'm not sure what. And it will be really, really good to use for prompts. Oh, speaking of which, I did not include, because I don't have a project bag for it, but I have Pandemic, which I'm going to start, and I'll explain Pandemic in a little bit. Let me just get through these. All right, so I've got, obviously, Garden Prelude with a yellow dress. I have, of course, Stargazer. And if you have forgotten what it looks like, I have my giant Harry Potter, which is going to, I can't wait to pull this one out again. As soon as I'm finished with Harry Potter Pillow Sampler, giant Harry Potter comes right back out. This one I have not started yet. This one I believe I'm starting next month. This is Mayflower's Landing. This is a Sal. I'm doing this with Stitchnbutton. So there's this one. I think this one starts next month. I don't know why I'm doing a Sal with her. She said, hey, I'm gonna do a Sal, and it sounded fun. So, okay, then I have my Raven Queen, which I'm actually gonna convert this. So when I'm finished converting it, I will give you an insight into what it is. Right now I'm waiting on the fabric. I ordered the fabric from Under the Sea Fabrics. It's called Hades Realm. I don't know when it's going to come, hopefully before the end of the year. But I'm also waiting for my Dark Queen of the Seas Sal fabric and bead pack and specialty thread pack from her as well, because I think that starts next month. And that sounds like fun. So I've got that one. So I'm waiting on that one. Away We Ride, because awesome. This one's a big fat maybe, because I have everything I need for it. I just don't know if I am up for working on 3 mirabilias at a time. But I have Roses of Provence. Everything's ready. I am going to, this is the fabric I bought for it. It's called For Fabric. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do, I'm going to dye it so it's got like pastel pinks and blues and yellows and greens, like lightly colored in the background, so it looks like she's floating on cotton candy. I saw some of that fabric in a fabric viewer, and I put this pattern over the top and it looked really good, so I'm just going to try and do it myself. And then I have this one, but this one I'm pretty sure I'm not going to start this year, which is the Princess Eliana. So of all of these, I know I'm not starting her. I'm thinking I may hold off on Roses of Provence unless I finish one of the other mirrors. So this one might be as soon as one of them's finished, I will add this in. But if I just stick with those, then I have Dark Queen of the Seas. I have Pandemic. And then I have 13 Colonies. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That gives me, I want to say 16 whips to end the year with, which I think that is a doable number. I might be off. I want to say it's 16. Yeah. If I'm wrong, we're gonna blame the fact that I haven't slept more than 10 hours this week. So we'll just call it what it is. It's called tired brain. Pandemic, I need to start it this week. I am doing that a stitch along with our headmistress from Magical Stitches, Vicky. And she is doing hers on black and I am stitching mine on antique white. And the way we're working it is every time one of our homework prompts says to stitch a certain amount of stitches in a certain color, we're going to just jump in and do it on Pandemic. I have to kind of switch mine up a little bit because she is a member of far more groups than I am. She's in Semi-Sane Stitcher, she's in Enchanted Stitching, she's in the School of Magical Stitches and Literature with me. But she gets a lot more of those types of prompts than I do. So what I'm first going to do is I'm going to go back through the beginning of the year and I'm going to find all of my specific color prompts and use all those. And then I think that every time she gets a color prompt, if she mentions it on her Flosstube, then I will jump in and do the same color on mine. I have no idea where she started on hers. I know she did start hers already, so I need to start mine and kind of try and keep up. But so if she mentions it on hers, then I will. I feel like that's just it's gonna take a while. So what I may end up doing later, if it's gonna take I don't know. I could just randomly select a color once a month, maybe, just to continuously make progress on it. So we'll see, because we're just stitching it together, but it's meant to be a Mod Podge of just colors. So it's just like this big, almost like you just threw color at it and it's stuck wherever. So that's what I'm doing for that one. And I think that that's everything as far as the stitching goes. Pretty sure it is. So reading, raise your hand or say, I sure did, in the comments if you read Midnight Sun. I was in my 20s when the Twilight craze was going on. I'm old, but and I was living in Okinawa, and I had amazing friends, and Twilight was just, it was fun. And when the movies came out, it was even more fun. And we would go to the movies, all of us together, and we laughed at the movies just like I do now. And we said, oh my gosh, these were terrible. But I mean, they're not terrible. I've seen some terrible movies. They're just fun. It's fun. And so of course, when Midnight Sun got leaked, and then Stephanie Meyer put it on her website, and you could read the first however many chapters. Oh, hold on. I of course read them, and then I was thinking, oh man, I really wish she'd finish this, but I understand why she's not. So when she came out and said she was releasing it, I of course bought it, and I listened to it, and that thing is long. That is long. But I do a lot through audiobooks. Been a member of Audible since I think 2008. I have so many, because I can't just sit and read anymore. I feel like there's always too much to be done. So laundry and dishes and vacuuming and mowing the lawn, and those are the sounds of two children sneaking out of bed and going back up. So anyway, yeah, I feel like I can listen to books, and I just so much easier. And if I can't get it on audiobook, or I still love to sit down and physically read a book. I just don't feel like I have the time to read as much if I were to sit down and physically read. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I read Midnight Sun. I used that as one of my extra credit reading assignments, where a character in a book throws a hissy fit, because we all know Edward throws a fit anytime anybody mentions doing anything vampire related to Bella. So right there. Well, first, here is my new office chair. Don't mind the messy desk behind you. My husband has a lot to work, but this is my new soft office chair, and apparently it is a massage chair, and I'm saying that with air quotes because it's not really a massage chair. You plug a USB in, and this part right here vibrates. It doesn't massage you, it just vibrates. But you can see my lovely shoes. But I finished, get this out of the way, I finished my desk. So, oh my goodness. Okay, so I showed you the top last time where I sanded it down, and then I used a combination of stain and polyurethane, and it probably could do with another coat, but I actually like the color this turned out, and it's nice and smooth, and it's wonderful. But then on the bottom I used, I believe it's a Rust-Oleum brand chalk paint in charcoal, and so I got all the chalk paint done. I pulled the drawers out, and I glued the dowel in there, and then filled all the cracks and crannies. I did sand the drawers down because they all had lots of dings and stuff, and even though you don't need to sand with chalk paint, I imagine because it's so thick it fills in areas, but there were some pretty big gouges. So I filled in the gouges, filled in where, because it had a knob just in the center of each drawer. But obviously I fixed that, and then I did the new holes for the new handles, and then I used a Minwax natural finishing wax and waxed all of the drawers, which make them a slightly darker, and then there's a slight shine to them, just very, very slight shine. But that is my desk. All right, so that is all I have for you this week. I'll probably do a lot more stitching this week. We got a lot of cleaning done in the house. I have 6 bins between here and the basement that are filled with my husband's Star Trek ships. We need to hang the shelves on the wall, put the Star Trek ships up. There's a few more things that need to get done. And of course, furniture. We're just waiting on the furniture. But for the most part, we're pretty moved in, pretty settled, and yeah, so as long as the kids have been really helpful with keeping stuff clean, and so that gives me more stitchy time. And now that I have this nice comfy chair, I can stitch. I've got my new webcam, or not my new, but I've got a new webcam because my husband stole mine for his teleconference work. So I've got a webcam so I can virtual stitch. Good times. So I'm gonna leave that here, and I hope everybody has a great week, and thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.